Hey everyone, Gavin Shnieder here with Abode Based Real Estate, and today I wanted to talk to you about unexpected costs when purchasing a house. I've had a lot of buyers recently ask us to break down for them, all of the different expenses that are going to be broken into purchasing a home. I find that a lot of the time that buyers, you completely know, hey, what is my down payment going to be, and how much is it going to cost to remodel a kitchen, right? You're already thinking about that, but you're not necessarily thinking about some of the smaller line item expenses that happen during a purchase. And I'm going to jump to the end of this conversation first and just throw it out there that buying a home costs money and owning a home costs money as well. A house is a depreciable asset. Even if nobody was living in it, the materials, the siding, the roof, the appliances, etc. are going to fail over time. So, the experts out there say that between 0.5% and 1% per year is what you should expect to pay for maintenance and repairs. And, I think that pretty much holds true depending on how old your home is. So if you have a $300,000 house, you can generally expect to have between $1,500 and $3,000 a year in expenses related to preventative maintenance and repairs. So, just throw that out there. That way you're aware that, being a homeowner, right, costs money. It's not like renting where you just call the property management company's handyman and he comes out and fixes it for free, right? Okay, so let's talk about some of the kind of forgotten expenses when purchasing a home. And, the first one is really common. It's earnest money. And earnest money, importantly, is negotiable. $0 is a perfectly acceptable amount, and so is 100% of the purchase price, and everywhere in between. It completely depends on the situation that you find yourself in. A lot of the time in our area, somewhere between, say, $500 and 1% of the purchase price is an appropriate amount of earnest money. So if you're buying a $300,000 house, you probably want to be closer to the 1% mark and putting down $3,000 in earnest money. Anything less than, say, 0.5% or $500, which is quite a bit lower, would be considered by most sellers and most agents as not enough earnest money. And likewise, anything over 1% of the purchase price, a lot of the time is going to be considered as a good amount of earnest money and will work in your favor. Importantly, the earnest money doesn't just disappear unless you walk away from the contract, without a contingency. The earnest money gets wind up being applied to your down payment or to your closing costs or even refunded to you in some cases. So it doesn't disappear. The second thing that buyers tend to forget about is the cost of inspections and appraisals. So depending on the size, age of the house, whether or not you have a sewer or septic, a well, those kind of things, your inspection is going to be in the, say, $300 to $700 range, and your appraisal is going to be in the $500 to $900 range, depending on how quickly you need it. So just between the two there, you have $1,000 plus of out-of-pocket expenses that are going to happen during your escrow period. Even for those of you who are getting VA loans, which are quote, zero down home loans, that means zero down payment, not no money out of pocket, right? You're still going to pay earnest money as well as inspection and appraisal costs. The third cost that kind of creeps up with buyers is the cost of moving. A lot of buyers are just thinking in the back of their head, we're going to move ourselves. It's not going to cost anything. Well, you're not paying a moving company. However, you still are renting a U-Haul or two. You're still taking 2 or 3 days off of work. You're still buying boxes. You have to disconnect your cable and your alarm system and all of these other services at your previous residence, which may have fees associated with that, and then reconnecting up the new house, which have fees associated with it. So, and then you're going to break things, right, during the move that you're going to have to replace. So moving is also an important cost to consider, especially if you're paying a moving company. And then the fourth thing, that I want to mention would be what I would kind of call first-year hidden surprise expenses. And so this is things like were all of the appliances included when you purchase the home? Sometimes the washer and dryer doesn't come. Maybe it was a flip or new construction. There's no fridge. Well, you've got to go out and spend a couple $1,000s right out the gate to put in the new appliances. Maybe you don't have any blinds or any curtains in the home. So now, the first couple of weeks, first month or two, you're going to want to have some privacy and install blinds or curtains. Maybe some of the smaller items that came up during the inspection weren't repaired during escrow, and now you want to fix them after the fact. Now you're going to start going through that checklist and repairing those items. And then, of course, you have all of your other pet projects. You wanted to paint the bedroom and install new carpet and do these other things. So there's quite a bit of expenses that happen during that first year. For those of you that are first-time home buyers, all of a sudden, you need a lawnmower and a weed whacker and a blower, and you need a caulking gun and caulk and a basic tool set to do some of these repairs yourself. So definitely have some additional money set aside outside of your down payment for things like your earnest money and your inspection and these other first year expenses that pop up. What I'll tell you is you should be getting a home warranty when you purchase a house. Period. End of story. When you work with our company, every buyer gets a 1-year home warranty no matter what. We either negotiate to have the seller pay for it or we buy it for you. And from our perspective, it's such an inexpensive way to protect you during that first year of home ownership, right? These things are going to cost $400 to $600, and for you, the home buyer, if your appliances go bad in the first year, you have electrical issues or plumbing issues, or a myriad of other problems, the home warranty is going to pay to replace or repair whatever the issue was. Your furnace went out, the hot water tank goes bad, all those kinds of things are covered, for $500-$600 of home warranty expense. So it's really a no-brainer, especially when we can have the seller pay for it 9 times out of 10. Okay, so those are some of the kind of hidden or surprise costs when purchasing a home and during the first year of home ownership. If you have any questions, if you want to start planning, what those expenses would look like for you, feel free to reach out and we'd be happy to help. Have a good day.